Welcome. This is the Late Late Show with BT, where views with security and law are being provided to you, the public. Our publishings for this show are going to be real simple. It's the same one. It's going to be the Oprah magazine. However, it will be October, November, and December 2015 and January 2016. So, excuse me, um, I think when I first started, I mentioned about using my pre-show stuff. So, one of those includes, I just do butterscotch. But anyway, I said also our unofficial last show of this season is going to be Monday, the 29th. So, I mentioned that, um, the celebrity versus, what is it? General pop. So, you forget that this show is a little different than the late late shows that are out there. And the reason why we have a season and it doesn't be continuous like the other ones that are out there is because just like what we have with celebrity is industrial, our late late show with BT is kind of the same. Or it is the same. So the industrial focus has other considerations. It has the other late late shows to consider in its broadcast. So that's the difference. Just like when there's, any industrial, I mentioned, when it comes to certain, there's commercials and then there's something called industrials that some people become involved in, whether it's an interest, a hobby, or it's actually connected to their expertise, but um, they focus on a particular industry and the learning in that industry for the people in that industry. So it's when I use general pop, it's not necessarily for um, just uh, just mass public, but it includes the public because of the service or the product that is being industrialized. So this show is kind of like that, which is a little different. Um, so that's what I have with it, and that's what I'm just gonna stay being me, being who we are, because it is the late late show with BT. Um, so that's the difference. So during our season, we use that time. We still stay within the community and the network, um, but it's still focused on this contribution, which is the late late show. It's just, I think it more so is it goes behind the scenes in a sense. And then when our season shows up, it's sort of not behind the scenes. Um, you know, so kind of like I don't know, a friend or a parent, whatever your perspective is when it comes to business. The other late late shows, whether here or abroad. So we have some beyond serious topics. Showing your true colors can get you into trouble, says Heather Havrilesky. Not doing so only makes it worse. A woman's voice calls out brightly through a sea of parents. Hey there, how are you? I think about my morning, how one daughter cried into her cereal over a homework assignment, while the other refused to put on her ugly shoes. How I barked at both of them before pulling on sagging running shorts and dashing out the door. So I forced myself to be friendly, sanding down my edges. Despite my attempts to seem agreeable, I was starting to act like a backbiting jerk. The better you know yourself, the more worried you become that your iffy qualities will turn people off. As it turned out, it was easier to be kind and generous once I could admit that I was also moody and disorganized. Even better, showing my true self to people, let them stop acting like perfect robots too. So I guess I must say, just because it may be so that you already have a late show or a late show or a night show or a late night show or whatever talk show it is, whether it's live or recorded, um, it doesn't necessarily like um, put it here. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will have our, that it will be with this industrialized. I guess the point is there's no mandate that says that if it is, I'm pretty sure some lawyer or someone could email the Late Late Show with BT at gmail.com and enlighten us. But I don't think that there is a mandate that says that any industrialized contribution that they're mandated to connect it to every um, organization or business that attempts to affect or contribute to that particular industry or genre. So we're still in the beyond serious topics. Ada Calhoun, rather Ada Calhoun, learns there's nothing like a false name to help you be your real self. Growing up, I wanted to be a writer myself, but I felt that job was taken. He was leaving heavy footprints in the earth while I tiptoed behind. At 22, I was hired by the Austin Chronicle. As I filled out the new hire paperwork, I discovered a little box that read DBA, or doing business as. I've been operating as two people for so long that I hardly notice the way a bilingual person switches between languages without thinking. I was edging onto my father's turf. But when I saw that box, I thought, who do I want to do business as? I wrote down Ada Calhoun. Stacy D. Erasmo. So again, it's butterscotch. Like a modern Antigone, Smith attempts to honor her husband, her brother, the writer, her parents. But in this enchanting and enchanted book, the dead, did I say dead? Exists right alongside the living, still haunting Smith years or even decades after they've gone. She rests in the bedroom and is so moved by the energy there that a song about his wife comes to her whole. While visiting grave, she has the uncontrollable urge to urinate on it. as if to summon back to life. The book feels like a long poetic letter directly from the brain of your smartest, oddest, bravest friend, the one who has ventured so much further than most of us dare to. Stacey D. Erasmus. The urge, the uncontrollable urge to urinate on the grave. What did you? The uncontrollable urge to urinate. Now for news and topics with Mercedes Smith. Then her friends encouraged her to think bigger, and she formed Care More, which distributes care packages, including items like shampoos, band-aids, deodorant, and fruit to New York City's homeless on Sundays. He curled her hair with a quarter-inch iron, then brushed it out. To contrast with the bold eye makeup, chose a neutral bronze shimmer lipstick. I told myself I wouldn't cry, but these are happy tears. Mercedes Smith. So we are still in news and topics. Breathtaking gifts. 2 is better than 1 because they share. The best skin of your life starts here. What lies beneath this self you show the world? Beauty. To thine own selves be true. Eric O'Gray, Seattle. So I hired a nutritionist who, to my surprise, told me to adopt a dog because that meant I'd have to go outside and exercise. Dropped all his extra bulk too. The dog's name? Petey. Petey dropped all his extra bulk too. Then I began training for marathons. To Petey, I was the greatest human being in the world, and I wanted to be the kind of person he thought I was. I'm a sales rep, which wasn't such a great fit for a guy who was too obese to travel. But last year, I took a great new position. There was nothing to be done, so we brought him home. I slept next to him at night because he was too afraid to be alone. He'd whimper when we turned off the lights. The bond that PD and I shared was stronger than any I'd had with another being. But they made all the difference. Today, my life is one I could have only dreamed of having. Bring something new to the table with inspiration from 9 of our favorite chefs and cookbook authors. Andrea Davis, Commerce City, Colorado. The terrible part was the goats were regularly sold for meat. And when the buyer loaded them on the truck to be slaughtered, I'd watch with burning hot tears running down my face. But my boss told us, put her back in the herd, headed for slaughter, because it was a waste of time and money to do anything more. Her leg had to be amputated, but she recovered, and we named her Tripod. Eventually, we bought 10 acres of land in Colorado and took her there, along with 15 other goats we'd slaved from slaughter. Kimberly Stargatz, Wilmington, Delaware. My chestnut mare and I have been together for 14 years, and we're always in a dialogue, whether we're taking a walk through the woods or riding in a show. Her soul has an energy that matches and gives back to mine. But the next thing I knew, she deflected all her weight in midair and rolled away, tumbling backward into the jump. The paramedics rushed over, but there wasn't a scratch on me, just a red hoof print on my chest like a good luck charm. Andrea Davis. Kimberly Stark. Beautiful skin. The past is merely yesterday's present, ordinary at times, beautiful and tragic too. Behind the scenes. Carolyn Sutton, Omaha. The incredible sadness that 2015 brought with the death, did I say death, of my husband's stepfather. I am truly looking forward to turning toward our life with our 3 beautiful children and our 10-year anniversary in June. The body knows things a long time before the mind catches up to them. Would like to buy the world a condom. Kevin Hart. I want to be on this planet for a really long time. And I don't want to spend endless hours in the hospital when I'm older, so I work out 6 days a week. We could be watching a movie at home, vacationing in Costa Rica, or exploring Disney World. There's just nothing better than spending time with them. That's so to Joseph Zambrano. So Kevin Hart, best New Year's resolution to be much better in 2016 than I was in 2015. At the end of the day, I want my life to be about progress. Money in the bank starts with the right frame of mind. The brain game. Dear Lisa, it's about squeezing you a glass of fresh grapefruit juice in the morning, unless, of course, you're on statins, in which case he might be trying to kill you. Dear Lisa, my husband's brother and his wife have flaked on more than a dozen family occasions in the last couple of years, from small dinners to big events. I mean, kids get ear infections, grown-ups get overwhelmed, wires get crossed. If it happens twice, well, it's hard to understand how 2 members of polite society could not only fail to show up after saying they'd be there, but then add insult to injury by neglecting to apologize the next day. That said, you're going to have to deal with these people for years to come, and it will not serve you well to view their behavior as an act of war. I have more to say on this, but the whole topic is making me swat at imaginary little insects buzzing around my face. My cubicle mates are starting to look at me funny, and it's only a matter of time before they dial HR. Here's the bottom line. I live for bedtime. Enlarged big toe. Psychologist, PhD, author of Your Next Big Thing, 10 Small Steps to Get Moving and Get Happy, suggests starting small, really small. Do you like a veggie with bites? Yes. But a veggie that bites? No. The brief and the beautiful. It's okay to progress by trial and error. Tinkering is the way we learn how to make things work. Be thin. I want. I want to be thin. Oprah's found a fantastic new way to work out, and Lisa Kogan is stretched to the breaking point. I'm sifting through emails on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon when who should drop by my cubicle but the O of O, Lisa Kogan, she announces. I'm about to change my life. But I don't want her going to any trouble. I mean, if cash is easier. I find myself in a sun-drenched Santa Barbara studio meeting the genius behind the genius of flexibility and his shaggy band of movers and shakers who turn out to be part of the elite group of trainers spreading the gospel of Bob's very unique approach to stretching and strengthening the body. They reach forward with their paws, arch their back, and then pull backward and contract the same muscles they were elongating by reaching forward. You are going to be like a cat. The good news is you don't have to believe a word I'm saying in order for this to work, he assures me. Oprah, how do you know when to start breathing like that? You breathe how you need to breathe to get through the workout. You breathe for what's happening. Now, bend your right leg so your right heel is near the back of your right hip. Contract the muscles on the back of your thigh, the hamstrings, so that your heel pulls toward the back of your hips. As you continue pushing your right leg and foot against the wall, bring your hips back to your right foot by pushing yourself backward with your left leg. Adrian Didick breathlessly attempts the latest celeb craze in shapewear. Though I was still at a healthy weight, I got squishy around the middle, and something had to be done. I couldn't afford a new wardrobe, and I gained something unexpected, better posture. I wouldn't mind losing another inch or two, but I think I'll give the corset a rest. The confidence you project by standing up straight improves your look, no matter your size. What's the single best thing you can do to live longer? The single best thing you can do to live longer? Stop seeing death. Did I say death? In people. You'll see the biggest health improvements by combining strength and cardio. But if you must choose, you may be better off hitting the weights. A study of overweight and obese adults in BMC Public Health found that over a 12-week period, resistance training tended to be more effective at improving cardiorespiratory fitness, long associated with decreased risk of death. Did I say death? There are many benefits to a healthy love life. Frequent sex has been associated with boosting immunity, but the jury is still out on whether it has any measurable effect on lifespan. What's the big deal? Chronic stress has a negative impact on everyone, raising cortisol levels and potentially leading to inflammation in the body. Flossing is a virtuous bedtime habit you can get away with skipping every now and then, but don't even think about skimping on sleep. A good night's rest may not only help prevent cardiovascular disease, but it may also decrease the risk of Alzheimer's, the sixth leading cause of death in the US. Did I say death? Plus, anxiety may increase your risk of death. Did I say death? By 29% if you experience 3 or more major stressors like illness, financial troubles, death of a loved one. Did I say death? Later in life, according to one report. Clocking 7 to 8 hours of shut-eye nightly has been linked to decreased mortality risk, but the so-called 8x8 rule for water has been discredited by experts. You could be technically overweight and still be healthier if you move more than someone who is of normal weight, but not very active at all. So, an FYI, while we are in that season, or at the close of this season, um, we still will be using the Facebook and the friend to the show, Latasha BT Rain's Facebook. So back to Lisa Kogan and her stretching to the breaking point. We walk back into the studio, and I watch Bob as he watches the room. 4 of his trainers are focused on a client's bum hip. 3 more are strapping a 30-something guy to a board to isolate a specific muscle group. Others bend wrists and twist fingers into positions one might not have believed possible. Is coaxing Oprah's leg behind her as she inhales deeply. Bob turns his attention back to me and says softly, "The next morning they told me that Pam died." I look over at Oprah, who shrugs and says, "All I know is I feel better." She tells me her posture is straighter. Her shoulders are back. The tension has left her neck. I hate to let down the team, but I know getting up ain't gonna be pretty. If I didn't know better, I'd say I'm experiencing a runner's high minus the running. Because I've been thinking, who wouldn't want to read about you changing my life by, oh, I don't know, slathering me in jewels and buying me a resolution number 3. I will buy the size that fits, not the size I think I should be. Resolution number 14. I would get the most bang for my beauty buck. Resolution number 15. Beauty notes. The makeup equivalent of the perfect go-to dress. The makeup equivalent of the perfect go-to dress. Uh, uh, is that a trick question? Resolution number 18. I will wear grown-up clothes to bed. Is that possible? Well, Kim Houchin, he passed away earlier this year, and not a day goes by that I don't wish he was still just a text away. So maybe that's what I was doing when it came to, like ordering the menu with your loved one or your opposite, knowing you have someone. You might not know the face, you might not know the name, but just doing little simple things like that in consideration. What if, I was just passing away? What if when I left, I just passed away? Behind the scenes. Words to live by. Don't see the depth in people. There is only one real deprivation. I decided this morning, and that is not to be able to give one's gifts to those who loves most, to those one loves most. Because for some reason, sometimes, more times than not, when, you're not in the right spirit about that, something be there. Because he got the little bitsy babies in his hands. After graduating from the Tyler School of Art at Temple University, I worked in graphic design and taught, but I always illustrated on the side. The book also has hair accessories to color in, typography, a wide range of textures. There's room for people to use their imagination. Andrea Pippins, as told to Benet Vieira. So the best thing about growing up in Arizona, I met Chris Pan when Favorite Son and I attended a pre-Grammy party where he was set up at a table creating charms for bracelets and necklaces on the spot. I worked my ass off to be able to have a high opinion of myself. Well, was it worth it? Sheer hosiery that looks even better than air. Bring the spirit of Super Bowl 50 home. Your bonus might be taking the place of a raise. Would you consider that good or not? Dear Lisa, but none of the other firms seem to be hiring. Amanda, out of Minnesota. Just to make sure you confine that behavior to exactly one weekend, and tempting though it may be, do not, I repeat, do not display any of the aforementioned toxic negativity in the presence of a coworker, a friend of a coworker, a friend of a cousin of a coworker who's dental hygienist. I'm not suggesting you don't have every right to be miserable. If so, congratulations. You're in better shape than I am. If not, consider this your chance to cobble together some freelance jobs as a bookkeeper for small business owners, a math tutor for the trigonometry impaired, a weekend babysitter, even a cater waiter. Anything that helps you establish a nest egg while expanding your word of mouth potential. And every time you have to sacrifice your pumpkin caramel chai double shot soy decaf latte with extra whipped cream, remember, you must cut back to move forward. You say the other firms don't seem to be hiring. Because my parents are still living, I feel compelled to mention that I have not engaged in sexual activity with all 2.5 billion men who populate our fair planet. Hell, there are parts of East Asia I've never even set foot in. And when the guy who cuts her hair says it's a bad idea, you better listen up. A puppy has very different needs from an older dog, and you ought to be asking yourself who would train it, exercise it, wake up with it during the night, check in on it during the day, pay the vet bills, and replace the plum patient stiletto that gets mistaken for a chew toy. You might want to talk to your girlfriend about the possibility of dipping her toe in the water by fostering a dog until it finds a good home. Because I can assure you that come January, the shelters will be teeming with wonderful pets, all thanks to people who picked up impulse puppies during the holidays. This Christmas, I think a lovely locket with a picture of her pug inside might be a better way to go. The backstory. Last month, unpacked the disagreement that led to having virtually no contact with three of their brothers in the past 5 years. Brought to Angela's home for all on her list. Tis the season to be glowing. It's as beautiful as listening to your heart when it says, "What are you waiting for?" Feel the burn. Hip to be square. Bite Beauty. Best Bites rewinds in Sephora Collection cream lip stain is always red. I searched high and low for the most distinctive gifts to suit every personality, and here's the best of the best. The Beach Babe. Jessica McGowan helped develop the Healthy Beverage Index, a 10-question survey worth a maximum of 100 points that allowed researchers to study the link between what we drink and our overall well-being. Take this quiz inspired by the Healthy Beverage Index. Do you need a coffee or tea buzz? A, absolutely. I drink at least 4 cups a day. B, a little. I have 1 or 2 cups in the morning or only on days when I'm dragging. Or C, not at all. Not at all. C, final answer. And by golly, it tied with B, which is a little. I have 1 or 2 cups in the morning or only on days when I'm dragging. What it means when determining how many points to assign each answer, the index weighs 3 factors more heavily: getting enough fluids, drinking enough water, and limiting liquid calories, because they have the biggest impact on your health. The best thing about our coffee adventure The Big Book of Sherlock Holmes Stories, The Broad Fork. Mark Nepo, he held the book so many times that there's an imprint of his palm on the cover. Message in a bottle. Something bold to satisfy. Perfectly nourished hair plus beautifully defined natural curls. Derek Rutledge, the muted pale lip is a contrast to the boldness of the eye makeup. Derek, I defined Oprah's eyes by emphasizing her beautiful brows. Derek, when you use such prominent liner, you need to balance it by really playing up the lashes as well. We've got the best of 2015's Beauty Bunch. Sherry Ransom out of Austin. I can be a bit shy, but I decided to be bold and book a hotel room. It has taken me a very long time to give myself permission to fly and breathe fire. The best online flower buying experience. Dear Lisa, of course, I'd be remiss in not mentioning that you do risk an assault charge and possibly some jail time. But if it's a first offense, what with prison overcrowding and all, you'll be home in an ankle bracelet before you can say orange is the new black. You can remember that there's a fine line between acting out of disdain and acting out of massive insecurity. It's hard to be the new kid at school. Perhaps Mr. Obnoxious is afraid his girlfriend's gang won't accept him, and that fear has the guy ricocheting between coming on too strong, refusing to engage at all, and cheating at cards. Okay, maybe not that last thing, but I think you get the idea. And yes, it could be that has been lonely and has therefore chosen to turn a blind eye to her love's flaws. However, pointing this out is likely to do nothing but blow up in your face. Dear Lisa, I'm very tempted to cut my hair super short, but I'm afraid I look like Tweety Bird. If the answer is not particularly Then brace for a whole lot of I taught a putty tat. Dear Lisa, if you take aspirin for your heart, it may be time to take Tylenol for your pain. Here's how to see your way to better eye health. The next big thing is here. So we're still at news and topics, unfortunately, or fortunately for you. I didn't get to go through these in it. So we're going to do it together. And I'm going to have another butterscotch. So this is my second butterscotch. I feel beautiful. And for me to say that is big. The beauty of giving. It's been 10 years making a beautiful difference in thousands of lives. Consider your body type. Why can't we use this time to build a bridge and be family like our mother expected us to be? Dear Lisa. I have only one child, yet it takes me approximately 77 calls to schedule a play date, a flu shot, a basketball pickup, a guitar drop off, or a parent teacher conference, all of which seem to be required every 15 minutes around the clock. Meantime, the check for summer camp needs to be mailed and a birthday party must be planned. Parents have to touch base with each other and occasionally they have to laugh. Dearest, this life's outbreak in science class has made me realize that our divorce was the single greatest mistake of my entire life. I'd advise you to be cool. As for joining his family for dinner, what can I say that Betty Davis didn't say more poetically in Now Voyager? Wait, strike that. Betty might not be the best role model. She smoked through that whole movie and went on to feed her beloved bird and whatever happened to baby Jane. Friendly as your boyfriend's humor, friendly as your boyfriend's former wife is, it could prove rather painful to have you at her table right now. That's kind of weird. Your boyfriend's former wife has a table. But anyway, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. I cross my legs, curl into a little ball, and try like hell to focus on rainbows and unicorns until the worst of the nausea subsides. Dear Lisa, may we help you? The backstory. In 2010, Mother was living in Jamaica. It was her wish to live out her remaining years in the place where she'd grown up. You can damage the brain, you can damage the body, but the center of the person you meet, she was whole. I was dealing with my mother's battle with cancer while we were editing this segment about a military wife stage 4 for pancreatic cancer. By the numbers, belief. Languages from Bhojpuri to Yiddish, in which the production team can now say thank you. 28. My girlfriends have gone above and beyond to support us by staying connected, checking in, giving advice, showing love, and offering shoulders to cry on, even though they're thousands of miles away. Terry Orth out of Powell Butte, Oregon. Behind the scenes, even Aunt, who makes a fantastic sweet potato pie, says this one is better. Food stylist Michelle Gadden. Some of the most beautiful, sophisticated women I've ever seen are stunningly silver. When I'm with my friends, some of whom I've known for more than 40 years, at our annual Beautiful Beach Babe reunion in Florida, Kimberly Kirkpatrick. Buy the hors d'oeuvres. Just buy them. So we are still in news and topics. And we are going to hear from Melissa Michaels. Anyone can assemble a lovely tablecloth, pretty plates, and fine flatware, but what really says celebration is the centerpiece. The best ones are inspired by what you actually have in your home, says Melissa Michaels. Layer 1, the base. Jeremiah Brent. My favorite thing in the world is a kid's table. I recently made one using old linen for the tablecloth and napkins. The kids could draw and color on everything and then take their napkins home. As a bonus, they were too busy creating to notice that there were no electronic devices in sight. I happen to love a woodsy potpourri, but to each his own. Nothing on the table needs to look perfect because perfection doesn't feel real. I love to layer textiles and use unusual materials for tablecloths or runners, like beautiful Peruvian potato sacks and textured drapery. Jeremiah Brent. So we got 32 ways to get comfy. We asked readers and one editor to share the little things that bring them peace. Donna Martin from Houston shares, when I have a rough day, they bring me a good night's sleep. I guess if I were to share something, I guess the best thing that I could share is, that I would say that brings me peace is myself. Just being peace, being of peace, being with peace, being for peace. Best thing about chilly temps, snuggling. Carte blanche to revel in the season statement coats and best looking boots, seen here against the backdrop of NYC's dramatic new Baccarat Hotel and residences. Sex doesn't have to be a telenovela. It's okay to laugh and joke around. Don't do it in a bathtub. No need to hide in the dark. Having the lights on only makes it better. Sometimes the difference between great sex and not so great sex can be summed up in 2 words: dimmer switch. Not every woman needs big round tatas to be hot. Don't go to bed with anyone crazier than you are. But those ideas discount the power of a woman's sexuality because they put pleasure in someone else's hands. I want to have better sex, but But I want to have better sex, but then a year and a half into our relationship, I got sick with rheumatoid arthritis, an incurable autoimmune disease that blinded me with frequent pain. A gentle touch with his tongue became a delightful trick. But the rewards have been an astounding, a sex life that works and a partnership that gets better and better. Being on a table where I'm the main dish and everyone is pleasuring me or watching me be pleasured. I'm draped over a fallen tree trunk, bottom up. If you need to be ready in 5, lover boy. So Eric Amaranth is a sex life coach who says our erotic superpowers are just waiting to be unleashed. The brain does magic when you combine these forms of stimulation. There's another spot near the G and one behind the back wall of the cul-de-sac of the vagina. A woman has to get to know her own body through masturbation, and that shouldn't be like grabbing a Triscuit when you're hungry. So we're still with Eric Amaranth. Do you think I'm bad at it? Why should anybody keep you from having the best sex life possible? Harry Morris. We're still in news and topics, and I am also going through my little process live. I thought it had to be after I rolled a joint or did a few shots at a bar. I thought I had to be in a shadowy room with a stranger. Romance had to be cloaked in drugs and booze. Sex meant not being the good girl I'd been raised to be. I wanted to be flung on a bed in Malaga, guitar music rising from the street, drunk out of my freaking mind. I couldn't imagine sex in the afternoon. Newspapers lying on the duvet in a patch of sunlight, cups of coffee growing cold on the bedside table. When I said I didn't want a relationship, he offered to be my friend. But at some point, I became able to be naked and unafraid, as determined as the drunk who stands up in an AA meeting and at last says her name. Trust us, we never go back to our sexual nudity days. Which happens to be, must be the sunshine. It must be the sunshine. Explore 825 miles of beaches, the world's best theme parks, abundant shopping, and endless ways to stay and play. Meant to be. Christine Bray, after a very long and difficult experience with my cancer, starting with my diagnosis in 2010, being treated at Cancer Treatment Centers of America felt like a milestone for me. Know your body. Talk to your doctor. Michelle, 39. Beauty Awards. Beauty Awards. Beauty Awards. Prepare to be a vision of loveliness. Beauty Awards. You'll find the lip glosses we love, the face lotions we've raved about to friends, the styling products that absolutely guarantee a good hair day. In other words, the Nay Plus Ultra of 2015's beauty bunch. Those best beauty buys. From capris to boot cuts, skinnies, flares, and straights, you'll find your perfect fits. And those are our news and topics. So I'm thinking a long-awaited pro football movie, industrial style, of course, is what I'm thinking. Just because that pro football question, not just pro football, but any other team. So I guess you can blame the wife and the kids regarding why you couldn't pro football or any other pro football team for that matter. So this long-awaited pro football movie should resolve that. But there has to be a female football squad. Right. And I'm thinking who would be a good quarterback. So of course it's like the best guy would be in it, gotta be in it, right? Uh, live defensive end, of course. So it should be interesting with everybody like 30 plus. So now that's all for news and topics. Fashion options. Photograph Sam Kaplan. Lettering Joel Holland. Oh, and I can't forget the cheerleaders, right? So, what if, everyone have to do both? You have to do the cheerleaders, for that industrial football movie. You're going to have to cheer in football. Fashion options. Oh yeah, Jennifer Hudson, right? Photograph Sam Kaplan. White diamonds. Here we go. Illustrations, Keith and Megan. Hair, men's hair, Michelle Corsi. Ring, Tiffany and Company. Hair, Nicole Mango. Hair, Nicole Mango. NYDJ. NYDJ. Tiffany and Company bracelet. Mary Hart Studio. Makeup, Dead Weather. And you, Unilever. Fashion and arts. Psychiatrist, 5 cents. Between the World and Me. And we are now in our totally awesome Asada Cuba Dallas Buyers Club. Between the World and Me. So I guess if they are hoping to end the AIDS epidemic in New York by 2020, then I guess it would be safe for, I guess that's a good time frame with regard to Asada. Anyway. Washington, D.C. It also contains fruit acids to help your skin better absorb the active ingredients. Killing and Dying. Adrian Tamine. This melancholic, deadpan graphic novel features vivid character studies of mothers, veterans, lowlifes, and teenage comedians striving to beat back isolation and escape the boxes that confine them. Sorry, Cuba, Dallas Buyers Club. And we do have some of the bus compilation remaining. But we do have some of the buzz for this show. But before that, our strawberry shortcake, strawberry shortcake view on the Berry Bitty City drama. So can you believe it? We are very supportive of strawberry shortcake and orange blossom blossoming together, and marmalade and cupcake blossoming together. I guess all we can say about that is congrats. Huckleberry pie found orange blossom. Therefore, marmalade also found Tom Tom. And also, that puts strawberry shortcake with plum pudding. And now for the buzz. Are we what about here? So, of those are we the Spice Sherry Punch. Stocking stuffer. Who got it? The Furolona Mini Deep Cleansing Essentials with Day and Night Cleansers. Beauty Gift Guide. Who got it? So we have Peter Thomas Roth Maskaholic Kit, Gianna Rose Atelier Frog, and honorable mention, Dose and Gabbana Light Blue Pour Home. Honorable mention, the Gianna Rose and the Peter Thomas. Well, that's gonna be here. Painted Love. Who got it? Painted Love. Okay, now I haven't done that. I haven't painted any of my clothes. I painted a few things, but not any of the clothes yet. And we have a Jackson salad and dinner plate, a rose quartz and dye-dot pillows, the RJP denim shirt, and the splatter placemats in black and cobalt. The Jackson plates, the black and cobalt splatters, RJP denim shirt, and the rose quartz pillows. So we like those favorite things, right? So let's see, out of those favorite things, we got it. Who can have worthy of being favorites? worthy of being favorites. Favorite things. Alright, let's see what we have here. So we have a UP3 in teal cross, ruby cross, and sand twist. Got it. NYC Weekender. Got it. Andre Walker Hair Experience Kit. I Love Sundays. Oversized V-neck comfy. Thomas Keller's Ad Hoc Salt Cellar. IMAX Confetti. High Camp Vine and Bloom Box. Park Avenue Faux Fur Pet Jacket in Chinchilla. Arlington Men Large Wallets. Aqua Snake, Tangerine Gloss, Green and Rose Gold. African American Literature in Ernest Hemingway Elephant Sets. Who else? Maybe. Black Titanium 5-piece sets. Special edition Keith Haring Mia 2 in Dance, Love, and Pop. Love Letter Keychains. iPhone 6s Plus. Philips Advanced Pasta Maker. Peace, Love, Oprah, Fleece Zip Hoodies. Ed on-air pre-lit marquee word, rustic metal finish. Material Girl puffer vest in rose gold, gold and silver. we're still buzzing, but are we quite a spread? Bold over. A green piece. So evidently we are all of the above. Feather your nest. Feather your nest. So we have Tom Dixon to the bookworm. Carolyn Feather Dinnerware. Why it's worth it. So I guess for now, why it's worth it. Great buys under $100. I look up under $100. Well, are we prep school or city slicker? Prep school on the right, prep school on the left, city slicker on the right. Which? Or are we down at the bottom with foot patrol? So we got the foot patrol and city slicker. And city slicker is bringing it in on the right. Wellness special. Who got it? So there's no wellness special. Well, I guess we could G-Love treat for hands. So one G-Love treat for hands got it. So next we are coming with what are we coming with? Because who got it? So we got it. I got the green light. The green light got it. Winter coats. Because it's cold or chilly. C&D Vinylux Weekly Polish and Oppie Nail Lacquer. So clockwise, the second one, Oppie Nail Lacquer, and the last, C&D Vinylux. Under $100. Who got it? I woke up under $100. I come looking for you with patience. H&M. Got it. All about entertaining. Who got it? So, all about entertaining. Edie Poker Suite Bowl Set. So, of course, it's the one that looks like the heart and the spade and the. You get it. Why it's worth it. Who got it? Yeah, I'm still kind of a bracelet fan. Not really a fan, but supporter. And we have Tiffany and Company, Jennifer Mayer, all showing up. Second from the top. Third from the top. Jennifer Mayer, third from the top. Tiffany and Company, second from the top. So who are you? Are you here? 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 So evidently, if you are here, you are the entertainer. So we're getting warmer, but how? Like this? What about like this? Or what about like this? How about like this? Maybe like this. So not maybe, definitely belt it out. We're getting warmer, but feel free to embellish. We're getting warmer with wrap stars. We're getting warmer with perfect pairings. And we are getting warmer with check it out. It's boot camp. Are you mod, 1970s, embellish, equestrian, or southwestern? Which got it? Because evidently that's the one you got to be, right? So we got southwestern. We got mod down at the bottom. And 1970s, second from the bottom. Coat check. Faux fur, peacoats, roll coats, faux fur collar, menswear inspired, or shawl collar. We got it. Coat check. So I mentioned faux fur. So that's bringing it in, the faux fur collar, roll coats, and shawl collar. Skincare stars. So we're not going to get to the buzz compilation, of course, but we want to finish these ones up. So who got it? And no skincare stars. I'll go really, really fast. I woke up under $100. Can I come looking for you with patience? And we got a vest, Real Wayne, under $100. Home edition. Who got it? Home edition. And we got a dynamic U1 cat and dog vacuum. A cat and dog vacuum. Yeah. So the knit dress, the knit skirt or the statement sweater? And we are all of the above. Yes, it's quite awesome. Think pink. Because we like to think pink, right? Not the same good perspective when it comes to Cancer, so we try to use pink, right? So evidently Ann Taylor cares. And that is the buzz. And we are gonna just, I don't know, pull out something from this Outofnetwork Spotlight pal and see what comes out. Our Outofnetwork Spotlight. Brahmin. Brahmin. Outofnetwork Spotlight. And it's now time for our BTUs. We went a little over, but it is on our viewing marathon to complete. So hopefully you two will stay tuned for the closing. So, RuPaul's Drag Race, season 4. I might have to rewind it because I was like, oh. I spent some extra time doing something um, different today. So, I'm considering about this viewing marathon. You gotta be alright, get the popcorn and come back and just see how we go with it because, it's mob wives, but it's still, I'm getting married. you know, um, it's still kind of Mr. and Mrs. Smith as well, in a way. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. See if I can refresh myself and then come back and see. I thought it would be complete. We would complete last show with American Next Top Model, but that didn't happen. So I'm pretty certain my wives is going to be the same way. Go until I just can't go anymore. So this has been a late show. Let me tell you. Bye.